to Chieftain Roll Call. Shout out Easton Water, our sponsor. Today we're going to be talking Big Ten tournament basketball. Should Holtman get the boot? And the answer is absolutely yes. But then we'll talk a little NFL news. Austin Hammond really wants to start with Big Ten tournament. So, Austin, what do you guys say?
Yeah, I started the Big Ten tournament today. I was taking a look at the bracket. My favorite as of now are the Purdue Boilermakers. But as I was telling Jack before the show, it's anybody's tournament, really. I mean,
including Ohio State?
My thing is, Ohio State has a favorable path to win a few games.
First 2 games.
Because
who do they play after Wisconsin?
Iowa, which they already beat by 10 this year. So
was that before they fell apart, though?
That was like right in the middle of it, I think.
That was their one win, right? That broke up the losing streak?
Yeah.
I think it was Iowa.
Yeah.
Iowa's
No, I thought that was Illinois.
No, that was later. They just beat Illinois like last week.
Yeah.
They won back-to-back Illinois and who was Maryland? Yeah.
Maryland.
Yeah.
Iowa's just a team full of shooters. If they're off, they're very beatable. But if they're on, there's no chance you're going to touch them.
Well, to defend Austin, as I was walking in, Ohio State is not a good basketball team, but the metrics. So what is it? 50-some? Is that Ken Palm or is that RPI?
Ken Palm
says they're the 50-some best team in the country.
53rd, yeah.
Luke Varner say he's got the under.
Yeah.
There's some. Why? What do they like about Ohio State? What do those metrics like? Offensive efficiency. At one point, I kept hearing that term.
I think it was that, and then because I mean, for a while there, Ohio State was still like top 50, and I more look at the net, but I think Ohio State was top 50 for a while, but then they went on their horrible losing.
So what's the problem?
Chris Holtman. That's my answer.
I think it's team chemistry.
Well, that also can
it's a bunch
result of Chris Holtman.
It's a bunch of young guys trying
job.
to run a Big Ten basketball team, and I just don't. I think you have to have somebody has to step up, and I don't think nobody stepped up this year, which is a
Bruce Thornton's playing better. It seems like lately.
Definitely.
Zedke going out as just from a leadership role has hurt them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Zedke fan. He's fine. He's just fine. That's it. Sense of balls. Another thing that frustrates me is it feels like we've wasted quite a few of these pretty elite players. Last thing I saw, the last thing I saw is Sense of balls going in the top 15.
Yeah.
I think the mock draft I saw was 15th to the Lakers. We shouldn't be having lottery players, and I'm not on team fire. I mean, I'm fine if they fire Holtman, for the record. And it was probably 6 weeks ago. I kind of defended him. Picked a bad time to do that. But, the thing is, again, why did they give him the extension? Why? Right. I mean, we've said this before. Why did he – I said this to Tips. Who are they competing against? I still don't understand that. I've talked to Tips about that on the phone. Who was saying we're stealing Chris Holtman if you don't extend him? Now, some people said Notre Dame, that Notre Dame was interested with Mike Bray retiring. I don't know. It's goofy. He's not going anywhere because of the money. Because Ohio State, this is not a great time for money for college athletics, and Ohio State included. In a post-COVID world, they're not looking, I don't know, Tips would be able to tell us how much they'd have to eat, but it's $20 million,
I think it's
30
closer
million?
to 30.
That's a lot of money for a guy that doesn't embarrass them. Until this year, he was at least reasonably successful. I know he got getting out of the first weekend, but the reality is he's back. He's going to get another year. He's got a big recruiting class. Now, we sat here and kind of bashed on Bronny.
Right.
All of us did. I think all 3 of us did. Maybe Horvath did as well.
Did I?
Literally. I think we all just said, well, maybe you weren't here. No, you weren't here.
I'm a big. I like Bronny.
Well, and all we were saying was he wasn't like now what the new rankings have him as a 5-star, and did you see that?
He's had a great senior year.
Like top 10. There was a picture of him. You see the picture of him beside LeBron their senior year. You talk about night and day difference. LeBron looked like, obviously he was a freak, but he looked like a high school kid, whereas then Bronny looks like he's been trained in a Russian lab. Like he looks like he's done nothing but work out since the day he was born.
The recruiting class is big. For the next 2 years, they have a top 5 or 6 recruiting class. So Holtman's recruiting better than he has in the past.
Which he's always recruited fairly well.
Right, but in 2019,
had that one bad year.
Yeah, it was close to the 50th best recruiting class.
So Bronny is a senior.
He is a
Yes.
senior.
So what? Okay, what's happening here?
He's going to go to Oregon.
What?
Oregon or Ohio State, it sounds
Where are you
like.
getting this Oregon thing?
Oregon's where he's
Oregon's top
crystal ball.
three.
Yeah, that's where he's crystal balled to.
What was the other one? Like UCLA?
It's UCLA. Yeah.
Oregon, UCLA, and Ohio State are his three.
What?
Why'd you pick Oregon?
Why do you pick Oregon?
Like why'd you came out kind of bold there. You said
well,
Oregon.
that's where people say he's going to go. Nike,
He's
money.
crystal ball to Oregon, I think.
Yeah.
So.
I bet he doesn't go to Oregon. I bet he
So
goes to
what
U.
is the timeline here? I don't follow it well enough.
I mean, he could commit really.
When's
Probably after
it's
the
next
season.
year? So when do they sign? When's signing day for basketball?
I don't know.
I mean, football's already done,
Couple of weeks, I think.
so it's coming up soon. We're going to know this soon.
Yeah.
I would say by the end of spring.
Yeah, I mean, he's got nowhere he's going to go to college in the fall. Yeah,
if they get Bronny, then Holtman can stay one more year.
I don't think Bronny's a lottery pick, though. I've seen that thrown around a lot. I don't think Bronny's ready for the NBA after 1 year of college.
LeBron said he's better than some of the scrubs
saw that,
in the
yeah.
league right now.
I saw that.
And that goes back to, I've told you guys, like, I get frustrated how LeBron does that. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously he is what he is, but why would you put that on your son? Tweet out that you're better than, first of all, he's not.
He's not.
Let's just
Not
be
even
clear.
close.
He's not.
He's
He's not
under-
better than the worst player in the NBA right now. He's not. He's just not. And,
Do you think they play together?
oh, yeah.
You do?
Yeah, I mean, I think the dude's been very clear about that, hasn't he?
If LeBron wants it to happen, it'll happen. So
Yeah. Well,
Those NBA guys have way more control over their contracts than other leagues. He can just start signing 1 year deals, and yeah, I mean, the team will take him. Now, we talked about that. Is that if you're a diehard, are you a diehard anything? Cavs?
not really.
He's a
no.
bandwagon, world class
I
bandwagon.
have not liked an NBA team since
Yeah.
about the 6th grade.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I love the Celtics growing up, and now I'm just, kind of whatever. I guess I root for my picks. But would you, if you were a diehard Cavs fan, for example, because I think LeBron has nosed around wanting to come back, is that what you'd want?
Honestly,
Bronny?
at this point, no. I mean, he's injured right now. He's going downwards. We have a great young chemistry team. I don't think. I mean, maybe
never going to win a title as they're construed though. Right now, you're talking you're a Cavs.
the
fan.
Cavs. You don't think they could ever win a title?
I don't think with this
know.
roster.
I disagree with that statement. I think they could. I think
they need a big
they're
guy.
still young.
Yeah.
and but they have
And LeBron's having
Allen, don't they?
one of the
Well, who's
best
the-
years of his career right now. I mean,
well, but he's also on a boot and getting scooted around. That's my concern. Is I mean, we bring him in next year. He trades for I don't know Derrick Rose.
Well, you don't let him be the GM.
Well,
That's
yeah.
a fact.
Well,
if you do bring him in, he is a pitiful GM.
Well, when he comes in, he's gonna be like, "Well, if I'm coming in, I want to run the team."
is
That's
he
why I
worse
don't
than
want
CJ
him.
Stroud?
Oh yeah, no, that I'll give him a pass. He's talking about CJ Stroud tweeted out his Buckeye team that he wanted to play. Pete Warner was on it, really stepped
Yeah.
out to me. But no, LeBron has been pitiful about building teams. And
Yeah.
can you get it? That's a fair point. Can you get him without giving him the keys to the whole car?
I'm sticking with the Cavs, and I don't agree that the Cavs cannot win an NBA title with the team they have. Garland and Mitchell are I mean, maybe not superstars, but
Mitchell's a
really
superstar.
legit players. Garland got robbed of being an all-star this year, in my opinion, and
That's fair.
I think they could win it this year. They need maybe one more piece, but I don't think they need another. Old Tipple will get mad at this. Kevin Durant, they don't need a snake coming in to help them win a title. But
Well, yeah, I don't know if they need one of these aging veterans. I agree with that. I don't think I would go that route. I think they need another stud. I
Yeah.
don't think that Mitchell and Garland are uber studs. They're really good. Mitchell closer. I just don't. NBA teams that win titles, it's not usually very surprising.
Right.
I just don't know if they're now. I do think there's some parity
it's
in
gotten
the
a little
NBA
bit better
right now.
lately. Like
If Golden State, because to me, I still think Golden State's going to win the title. That's
Over
if
the
I'm-
Suns?
Yeah. Well, the Suns are interesting. They won last night. They went on a
Awesome.
buzzer beater.
You said the Warriors are going to win the title this year?
they're like the 4th seed.
This
Austin.
year?
Yeah.
No, they're much lower in the 4th seed.
Nah, they're like
They're-
5 or 6.
I'm telling you, that
That's-
roster
look,
cannot
that's not
win
much
it.
Look
lower.
at
That's
what
one
Vegas
seed
thinks.
lower.
I think Vegas has them like 4th or 5th odds. Yeah, I just still think if they pull it together, I think it's
Austin hates this.
That
Austin is absolutely.
astronomical.
Well, we'll see.
I mean, I don't even think they're a top 3 team in the West.
Well, they got the best shooter in the world, so I mean,
And they
He's
have
aging.
championship
Experience.
experience. I don't agree with Austin's face. That's 2 times today. I haven't agreed with Austin's face. When I said Ohio State's a bad team, he said I did not agree with that one either.
I think the question
But-
to look, if you're a diehard fan and you want an NBA team to get LeBron, you're not getting LeBron for him, you're getting him for if you think Bronny's going to be good because it's a package deal. So if you think Bronny's going to be good in 4 years,
First of all, it's vice versa. You can't get LeBron to get Bronny. You have to get
That's
Bronny
true.
to get LeBron.
Right. Yeah.
Getting Bronny will be tough
but
because you
LeBron
have
will
to
have
draft
influence
him.
over it.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, there's going to be a draft order.
Sure.
So, yeah, if you're willing to take Bronny with the number 1 overall pick, yeah, it's
stupid, but-
it's going to be really interesting. And I don't follow it close enough to know what the draft class is next year, but yeah, how high does a team have to go up? I don't think the Cavs are the team that should do that. I do think there's teams where it makes some sense, like go. I mean, who is that team right now where you're like, man, they're almost there, but they'll never get there. At least with the Cavs, there is a reasonable, I agree, that the Cavs could improve enough to win a title.
The Mavs.
Yeah, the Mavs already have 2 superstars. I don't-
What about the Nuggets?
It's a fair point.
Yeah,
I mean, the Nuggets are good.
because I
but
don't think the Nuggets are good enough to win it.
That's
I
what
said
I
that
think.
before. I don't. I think I said that. Me and Tips and Coach Hogue. I don't think the Nuggets to me aren't a threat to win the title. Not
with
as they're
Jokic
construed.
Not with Jokic and Jamal Murray. I
No.
don't think they can win it.
But that's a weird fit though too. I don't know.
Can we get back to this Big Ten?
Yeah,
Does anyone
that's what
else
I was
have
about to
any
say.
Big Ten predictions?
It doesn't intrigue me very much. With Ohio State being bad, I do agree with Austin. I think they could win a couple games, but why? I mean, it's like, what's the point? I guess, yeah. I mean, they're starting here soon, right?
Here's the bracket.
I would obviously get really excited if they won a couple games and start believing, but it is depressing to me to see a Big Ten tournament with Ohio State being this bad. I said the last time we talked,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that the Big Ten let everybody in. That's not always been that way. It used to be if you were at the very bottom. So now they must run essentially like a 5-day tournament. 5-day tournaments.
2
Wednesday.
playing games tonight.
It didn't
basically.
used to start on Wednesdays. You start on Thursdays.
Right. That has changed probably since the last 6-7 years.
I'm old enough to remember when Ohio State was playing for Big Ten titles in basketball every year. There for a minute, 2005 to about 2012, we won, I want to say 3 or 4 of them. And I went to a couple of them.
I think Purdue's the heavy favorite. I mean, they're the number 3 team in the country.
What about heavy?
I got Indiana.
I like Indiana.
I like Indiana.
They're the 3 seed. They have
And
to
they-
beat Northwestern to play Purdue, and they have a good big
yeah.
to
Big
help
Ten's
guard
just so
Edey.
weird because any night anybody can go out and win, which
that's
what
true.
makes this tournament even better.
And I think Iowa could do it too. I mean,
They're on.
yeah, if they're shooting, they're going to beat anyone. I watched them a couple weeks ago. They were down 13 with a minute and a half to go, and they came back and tied it and won it in overtime.
And they
Yeah.
beat Indiana by 17 on the road, so
Yeah.
Assembly Hall is a tough place to play.
The Big Ten feels like it's due for another March collapse. Like we're gonna get a bunch of teams to March, and then
Yeah.
that's just what I'm getting. Maybe one team. Like I feel like that's what the Big Ten does. They get one team that goes Sweet 16, Elite 8, and then collapses. The Big Ten though, we talked about this. The last time they won a title was like 2002.
Yeah,
or
it's
something
sick.
ridiculous.
It's Michigan State.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 02. Maryland's won it, but they weren't in the Big Ten at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very negative on the Big Ten in football and basketball. It's obviously it's my favorite conference, but it gets old. Like, do something. Yeah, I mean, this should be a year where we get like the ACC does. Let's get 3 teams in the Elite 8.
Yeah.
We're going to get a lot better next year. I mean, UCLA is
Yeah, that's
legit
true.
in basketball.
Is that next year? Year after? Not next year.
USC is good,
Not
too.
next year in basketball.
Oh, it isn't?
This coming year is a normal year, and
Okay.
then they all join.
Well, UCLA is legit. USC's not bad either. Now, are they still good in 2 years? I don't know.
Well,
But
and who
I
knows
think
what'll change by
UCLA
then.
wins the tournament this year. That's my prediction.
They're Austin just informed their best players hurt.
I forget what his name was. Something Walker.
Is he going to be back?
He's out for the season, torn Achilles.
Yeah.
All right, well.
Because I think I had UCLA winning the whole thing too.
I had
But-
UCLA.
You guys filling out brackets already.
Well,
Jeez.
that's how you get it done. I'm trying to,
It's like a
Hit it
pre.
I have filled out 2 brackets already, like just
Yeah.
Really?
based off bracketology. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
you picked Kansas
Jeez.
State.
I
I better do my homework for next week.
And then I had Kansas winning in my next one.
All right, we got to get off the subject. We're spoiling everything. All right, let's get to NFL. The draft's coming up. Some big free agency things going down. Well, let's talk about the draft first. What are the Chicago Bears going to do with this first overall pick? I mean, their guy that they potentially could have taken is in a whole boatload of trouble.
They need to trade down.
Yes.
as many times as they can.
Yes.
They
Trade
don't need-
I
down
agree.
to 2, trade down to 4, then trade down to like 8 or 9 and take a receiver to help Justin Fields.
Well, I saw the same tweet that
Yes.
you're referring when you're saying this.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think
It's
I
a
thought that
genius
was a
move.
little exaggerated. The way this tweet was set up is that Chicago was going to get like 8 first-round picks and end
3.
up with the 9th overall pick. I do think they should trade down a couple times.
Now, who trades up? I mean, there's a bunch of teams looking to trade up. Do the Texans just make the move? I mean, that makes the most sense.
Colts.
What about the Lions? I mean, they're a team that nobody talks about trading up, but
For what?
they-
Quarterback?
oh yeah, quarterback. If the Lions get a quarterback, they are legit.
I like Jared
borderline.
I do too. I like Jared Goff.
Jared Goff's a good veteran.
Does
guy.
Jared Goff ever win you a Super Bowl?
Probably not. Probably not. That's fair. But
And the Lions are like, man, I looked at something. They are looking.
He's done it before,
promising.
right?
No,
They won it?
lost it.
lost.
Oh, yeah, they
Patriots.
lost. You're right.
And they scored 3 points. So basically, if they would have had anybody besides him, they probably would have won it.
Yeah.
Kind of the point I was trying to make here.
Well,
Thank you.
I think it all depends on where Lamar goes. Who
Yeah,
trades
that's
up.
true.
I mean, if Lamar stays in in Baltimore, then
Which I don't think is likely at this point. What did the Ravens do? They signed they basically franchise tagged him where other
an
teams could sign him.
An exclusive franchise
Yeah.
tag to where they guarantee themselves a couple first-round picks,
And
and
they
they
can
can
match
match
the
it
offer.
if they want. But if someone wants to overpay, they'll get them.
The weirdest thing is all these teams coming out and saying they weren't interested in Lamar. What was that?
Lamar's
Like
a
the
great
Commanders.
quarterback.
But besides that, whether you agree with them or not, like, why did they all announce it? And it was like official announcements. I saw the Falcons Twitter account literally announced it, said, we're not interested in Lamar. I've just never heard of that. Like, why don't they do that for every player they're not interested in? It was, and it made people start like
Is it
talking about collusion and stuff. Like, why? When in NFL history did every team just show their hand and say, hey, this is what we're not doing?
Yeah.
What am I missing here?
Is it smoke screens? Is it fakeness? This, that?
All at
Trying to throw
once,
people
yeah.
off? I don't know. I feel like
Why is Baltimore not wanting? Or do they?
well, you could blame the Browns probably. He's probably asking for $230 million guaranteed, and the Ravens are like, well, you're injury prone and you can't get past the divisional round, so they might be looking at.
I mean, that's the thing is about that. That's the market, and I don't know where Lamar fits. You know, what is he on the high end? About the 4th best quarterback, 5th best.
That's probably
Where
fair.
is he on the low end? Like the 10th best, somewhere in there, depending on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so let's just say he's in there. Isn't that the market though? I mean, Danny Dimes just signed for $150 million, right?
Jeez.
160.
160
4
million.
years.
Who just signed for 200? Some other people did, right?
Was it
A
Derek
couple other
Carr?
quarterbacks. Yeah, Carr.
Derek-
What
Derek
Carr
Carr.
signed for?
200.
200?
Yeah, but it was 5 years, I believe.
I mean, that's
Geno.
the going. Geno.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the going rate. So, what if you're Baltimore? What else you going to do?
And what's their game plan?
Right. I mean, it's okay. Not Lamar. Who?
They have a ton of young players because they are really good at drafting. So what's their game plan?
Well, did you see that the Ravens are kind of falling to crap, which is lovely for me. Did you see their GM said something like at the combine? He said something. If I knew about good receivers, we'd probably have more good receivers. And then Bateman took a shot at Twitter. And he's like, "What are you talking about? Or, why would you say that?" And then now there's a whole Bateman might want out. This that.
Their offense coordinator
Bateman doesn't
left.
have a lot of leverage.
Well, he's not very good.
Yeah,
He's on
I-
a fantasy team, but he didn't like the comment.
Yeah.
And their offensive coordinator just left. He went somewhere.
Yeah.
So
Hopefully they go 0-16.
Without knowing, I mean, to me, it seems simple. They should re-sign Lamar and just roll forward. I don't know what this plan would be. It seems to me like someone is going to trade up and take C.J. Stroud. That's
You
my
think
guess.
one?
Yeah. And I've been negative at times on C.J. Stroud. I've even predicted that he may or may not do super well in the NFL. I'm starting to feel like I was wrong. He had a really good weekend, right? And he already had coming off a really good game against Georgia with a really good senior year. You can't take this dude from Florida first. I mean, this isn't real, right? This Richardson dude.
it sounds like
It's
yeah.
yeah.
I saw something yesterday about a team that might take him to Seattle.
Take
They
who?
just re-signed Geno Smith though.
Agreed.
But-
Anthony Richardson and make
Well,
him
they're
a
not gonna do that.
project.
Well, yeah, if you take him in the late in the first, I mean, they're going to take him with a high pick, are they?
That's what someone talked about is a GM and a head coach with experience like that because they can cut. Geno's contract is very team friendly.
To
get him out.
Okay, yeah, well, that makes more sense.
Put him on there for a year and then get rid of him if he declines.
Well,
One
yeah,
question I have is why is Stetson Bennett at the combine? Is anybody going to draft this dude?
probably late
yes,
rounds. Yeah.
5th round, 6th round.
Just to sit on the bench.
Oh yeah, you gotta have backups. I mean,
Yeah, but
it's an important job.
The
I
dude
bet
is old. The dude is. In the
he is.
combine,
Well,
he's
the
like
Browns took
26 years old.
Browns took a dude like #1 overall that was like 20
Brandon Whedon.
Brandon Whedon, he was
28.
28 years old, and they took him 4th overall.
Yeah,
Oh, they've done some dumb things. That's on there.
that's way up there.
Yeah.
But
It was one of their ugliest moments.
what about Bryce Young? You guys don't think he's gonna? It feels like he went from being #1, no doubt about it, to like really.
Where's my height? Is what they found out. We're
Yeah.
both a few inches taller than Coach Mifsud, but he is. What did he? 5'10", 5'10" and an eighth.
Yeah.
I like. The dude's short when they throw in that eighth.
He looked miniature compared to everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously, it's not a good time for Kyler to have had a really bad season, or because if Kyler's coming off an All-Pro season and say, hey, Kyler does it, now they're like, oh, another Kyler. I don't know. I think he's fine. I don't know if he's
Yeah.
#1 overall pick though.
Who is like good short quarterbacks? We got any?
Drew Brees, but Drew Brees was short, like 6 foot
foot,
short.
yeah.
5'10". That's getting
Close to
really
it.
short.
Can't really see.
What was Johnny Manziel? 5'10"?
5'11" ish.
good
Yeah.
quarterbacks?
Right, but
Really good.
I was looking at quarterbacks that didn't succeed
Right.
in the NFL.
And I do
Yeah,
think, and it's kind of funny, but I think it is a legitimate concern. When you're short, it is. I mean, I've been trying to look over people at concerts my whole life. And when you're, if you're 5'10", looking over 6'5" people doing anything is difficult.
Think how I feel.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I think at some point though, then you come to, and especially with the dude from Georgia. I mean, he's done, right? Is this
I
real?
don't think he is. He was back at the combine. Like he went to jail. It was like $20,000 bail. He's out. It doesn't sound like he's gonna get.
He's not going to get in much
bunch of trouble.
Is he still gonna be the #1 pick?
No, but he's probably still a. I think he goes
Somebody
from
will get value.
late first round pick.
Oh yeah, at least that.
Yeah,
I mean, even if he drops to 9, they're getting value.
yeah. He's just gonna catch some fines. I mean, that sucks. That's a sad thing. That
Who are
happened
the
there.
other people that they're considering? Like,
For the #1 pick.
yeah, I mean, what are the
the
Vegas odds? Who's
Will,
up there?
The Alabama
Will
guy.
Anderson.
Yeah,
Tackle
Will
from
Anderson.
Alabama.
Yeah.
Defensive end, yeah.
Well, both.
He-
I think. Isn't there?
He's small to be a defensive tackle. Oh, you're saying there's multiple
Yeah.
Alabama
Isn't there
dudes.
an offensive lineman from?
Yeah, there is an offensive lineman from Bama. But
What,
yeah, Will Anderson had a great day. He ran faster than like Christian McCaffrey and dudes like that, and he plays DN. So who'd they compare him to? The dude that got drafted by the Bears, Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
That's their comparison that they're making for him.
What's the chance a quarterback goes #1?
Wow.
High. I think it is going to be traded, and I think the Texans should just move up and get it. And
Yeah,
get their guy
I think the
because-
Bears would be stupid to not trade down. Have you seen what do you guys think about the Bears kind of sort of thinking about taking a quarterback?
Ugh,
Yeah.
horrible
be
decision.
silly
Um,
because Fields had a good year. He just needs some kind of supporting cast around him. And
Bryce Young's the favorite as of 3 days ago. C.J. Stroud 2, Richardson 3, Will Anderson 4. Oh gosh, Will Levis. That is just
no,
what?
no,
How?
no, and no.
How does this happen? I mean, these people
I
are
feel like-
smarter than us.
well, I don't
Levis is
know.
worse
Now he's
than
15 to
Anthony
1 in
Richardson.
fairness, and then it's the Carter dude. He's dropped. Edge defender from TAM. Texas A&M. Yeah.
what's his name?
Tyree Wilson, Will McDonald from Iowa, and a corner from Oregon, and a tackle from NU. Is that Northwestern or Nebraska? I think it's Northwestern.
Probably Northwestern. I feel like Northwestern has.
Yeah.
The corner from Oregon. He's good.
Someone tweeted out about Will Levis. It was like Pete Prisco yesterday. He said, if Will Levis played for Ohio State or Bama, he would be the unquestioned #1 pick. And someone responded, if he played for Ohio State and Bama, he would have to transfer to Kentucky to be the starting
Yeah.
quarterback. I mean, the dude couldn't start at Penn State and had to transfer. This is silly.
I feel like every year there's stuff like that just dumb. Zach Wilson last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
yeah,
like
yeah.
he goes to the combine and he throws with no defenders, and they're like, "Oh my god, this guy can throw a football." Like, well, I think everybody can. That
Josh Rosen, same thing.
Josh Rosen, he's a little bit different than
Isn't
that.
it you that someone loves Dan Campbell, the Lions coach?
Oh, I love Dan Campbell.
Well, your
Get
boy
after his
Dan Campbell
kneecaps.
was saying he don't mess with no combine. He's watching the tape.
Well, that's why I love Dan
Well,
Campbell.
there's a lot of wisdom there. Yeah, there's a long history of Vernon Golson's a guy from Ohio State from about 15 years ago. Now, he had a pretty good career, too, but he was a freak on the combine, went like top 5 and was awful.
Yeah. Well, you see the Richardson guy. He finished like second behind, I don't know, somebody like quarterback athleticism with the combine. And like the next best guy is like Tyrod Taylor. Like it just doesn't result in fantastic careers.
Now
How was
Tyrod's have a
Levis
good
so high?
career.
Well, I'm saying that's
But
the
you-
best.
but you
of
wouldn't
the
draft
best,
him.
though.
Right? No.
How is Will Levis so high? I'm still wondering that. Like, I'd take the guy over Florida before I took him.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. Here's the thing: the Jets. The Jets are all in on getting Aaron Rodgers. How do you think a guy like Zach Wilson feels when you got like Breece Hall tweeting at Aaron Rodgers trying to get him in? Like, what is Zach Wilson? He's sitting at home. He's like, "Ooh, what is going on here?"
Well, he had issues on their team last year, and I mean, he made a fool out of himself last year with something. Can't
Oh,
remember
yeah,
what.
He was immature.
Blame
Yeah.
the defense.
So that locker room probably is done with him.
Zach Wilson to the XFL.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's where it would end up.
yeah, that's fair.
Where do you think Aaron Rodgers will go? You think the Jets,
I mean, question is, where else can he go?
Raiders?
Raiders.
It's really kind of a
Atlanta?
two-way
Yeah.
race. What'd you say?
Atlanta.
Oh,
Good point.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm him, I go the Raiders. But
You can play Devontae again.
yeah, I think the Raiders are equipped to be pretty good with a good. But I like Derek Carr. I didn't feel like. I mean, I don't think he's great, but I don't know. It seemed like the Raiders were eager to want to get rid of him.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
think
it
he's
just
bad.
wasn't working. I guess. I mean,
And where'd he go now?
he's Saints. Which
Saints.
That's something we could talk about. How good
How they have money?
who?
I mean,
Saints?
They were
I think they were
26.
over the cap.
They were 26 million over, and then they paid.
They're about to cut
Derek
people.
Carr,
So they're gonna cut like
Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas was the guy they were saying.
and
Yeah.
he was really excited on Twitter about getting Derek Carr, but he has some news coming to him, I guess.
Well, I like Chris as a Chris Olave owner. I like Derek Carr going there.
Yeah,
Makes the Saints better. The Saints are by far, I'd say, favorites in that division now.
Well, yeah, Tampa's bad, Atlanta's bad, and then who's the other team?
Carolina, which is slightly less bad, but still bad.
Still bad.
Who's
Yeah,
their
you're right.
Who's their quarterback going to be? Sam Howell? Are they going to try Sam Howell?
I think that's what they
Sam
said.
Howell plays for the Commanders, I thought. Right? Yeah, Sam Howell plays for the Commanders.
The kid from North Carolina,
Plays for the Commanders.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
and
I
who's
am.
the quarterback for
Sam Darnold was there last year. Is that who you're talking about?
No, I was talking about Sam Howell. So is Sam Darnold the
Maybe they're
starting
getting
quarterback?
Sam Howell. There's been people, I've heard rumors about it.
Yeah.
Well, that's some inside stuff. If they go there, this thing's going to go viral.
I don't know who the Panthers starting quarterback is going to be. I mean, a short answer is probably Sam Darnold, and they draft
Yeah,
somebody.
yeah.
And then either mentor him or just roll with the rookie.
Well, they're a team that should consider moving up then.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
You really,
absolutely.
but they've spent so much money on quarterbacks.
Well,
So
yeah,
who's
and
the
dude,
quarterback in Washington? You're saying
It's Sam Howell.
it is Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rivera talked about that
Yeah.
recently.
He might be
said,
good.
Yeah, well, he's better than Carson
He
Wentz.
kind of looked good. He sucks.
If
Carson
you're the
Wentz is
Panthers,
terrible.
you traded for Baker, you traded for Sam Darnold, and you spent all this on quarterbacks, and none of them are very good.
Well, yeah,
There are times
Teddy
where
Bridgewater.
I always try to give these guys credit because they are smarter than us. But Carson Wentz, another good example of they can be really stupid. I mean, everyone saw this coming with Carson Wentz for now. Maybe like 5 years ago you didn't, but the last few years it was so obvious everywhere he went that it was going to be a disaster. And they can, is someone else going to sign him now? Did they cut him?
They cut him.
Yeah, they cut him.
I think
Is he done?
He'll be a backup.
done as
somewhere.
a starter.
Isn't he too weird to be a backup?
Probably.
Like, isn't he weird?
Yeah.
I feel
Won a
like
Super
he's-
Bowl as a backup.
Yeah, he did win a Super Bowl as a backup.
Yeah.
I don't know. He seems like a high maintenance guy to me. Seems like there's always like drama with that dude.
He would have been really good if he didn't get hurt. He messed up his arm and never got back.
Yeah.
He had the MVP season and it was just
If you're the Giants GM, instead of paying Daniel Jones 160 million, don't you try to grab Lamar for a little bit more?
I mean, I would rather have Lamar. I do like Dimes a little bit, though. I mean,
Well, yeah, he had a great year last year, but I mean, 40 million more.
yeah.
I mean, they announced that they are franchise tagging him before they signed a deal.
Browns are getting Barkley. Coach Caudill announced it. I mean, he's not
sense.
happy. He said there's rumors that they're going to
There's-
get Barkley.
yeah.
That's so weird.
It doesn't make any sense.
Well, how do you think Lamar would fit into the Giants' offense?
I don't know. Be interesting.
Probably.
I mean,
good.
you
Don't
got
know anything
Lamarcus.
about their offense.
Well,
He know Brian Daboll.
Danny Dimes runs the ball a decent amount. Lamar runs the ball a decent amount. I mean, him and Saquon in the backfield together. Yeah. If they kept Saquon, he might be on the Browns.
Yeah, it makes.
I've heard he's going to the Browns.
Be a pretty good
Should have
combo.
drafted him when then they had the chance, but
Who?
the Browns.
Barkley? No.
Yes.
Why? We got a better running back in the second round. Maybe not better, but pretty close.
Who, Chubb?
Yeah.
I prefer Chubb. And I
I
like
mean,
them both, but
It definitely prefer a dude Chubb in the second round rather than the fourth
That's a good
pick.
The value is there for sure.
And we got Denzel Ward with that fourth pick.
your dad is
Hater.
big fan of that.
Yeah, he's an absolute hater. Yeah, he was talking crap. You remember that pick six he had against the Bengals? Literally the play before, he was like, Ward, do something. And then he picked
Called
six.
for it.
he cried it up.
He said, it's about time. It's about time. I mean, I kind of get where he's coming from. He's the fourth overall pick,
It is a high bar, but
it's hard to play DB. Like,
yeah, and I mean, the reality is with those DBs, you almost have to trust like the player rankings, the PFF,
Yeah.
and they've always got him like right at the very top.
yeah.
But he does get hurt.
Yeah,
but, I mean,
that's his biggest thing. He's
yeah.
injury prone, but he's legit, I think. Well, all right. Go
I've
ahead.
seen Saquon to the Colts as well. That's where I've realistically
Don't
seen
make
him.
any sense.
What?
Or I'm sorry, not the Colts. I'm sorry, not the
Jeez.
You're
Colts.
talking Bills.
Yes, the Bills.
That
The
would make
Bills.
the most sense.
Yes, the Bills, not the Colts.
I was about to actually.
I don't know if that makes a ton of sense. I mean, the Bills are going to have to change who they are offensively because I assume you're investing a ton of money in Saquon. I just don't know that offense. That's a team I watch a lot because of Josh Allen. I mean, they better do things a lot. Maybe they're trying not to run Josh Allen, I guess. I don't know what that.
The thing with the Bills are like if you get in a game like that, they were against the Bengals. They could really use a Barkley kind of guy. Like,
Well, yeah.
they could not do anything offensively because it's hard to throw in the snow. And I mean,
For that kind of investment, though, I would say when you got to spend money on Allen, you got to spend money on Diggs and other guys. I would just say let's find a poor man's Saquon Barkley,
Right.
something better than James Cook. Now, is there a reason to believe they already don't like James Cook?
No.
Well, Mark Meeker had me convinced that he was,
Well, he
Going to
drafted him. Yeah, he went really high on him.
yeah, I mean, had me spooked. Like, what did I not read about James Cook? I was
Sixth overall pick in the Dynasty
Yeah, I
draft.
was sitting back taking Chris Olave with the 11th pick in Dynasty and thought, oh, I've botched this thing. Apparently, James Cook's the guy.
Now, Saquon was franchise tagged.
Right.
So can teams still? It's not an exclusive franchise tag.
I think that means he's still on the Giants then
he's stuck there. I mean, you can't.
for one more year. Yeah.
Which is party's about over then. I mean, how old's the dude? 25?
He's young.
He's young.
Not really young for
Young
running
for
back.
young for. I feel like he's been in the league a while. He came in the league early.
Well, he's old. Then
That's
for a
what I'm
running
saying.
back.
I think he's old. I just
Like
these
running
running
back
backs
standards.
once they're
Right.
25, it's
Well, he was drafted the same year as Baker. So wait, no, he wasn't.
I was.
He's 26.
Yeah, he was. He was
Old
drafted the same
man.
year as Baker.
Yeah. So next year he'll be 27, also known as on the decline.
yeah. This is it.
Running backs after the age of 25, they say.
Yeah, and it used to be 30 when I was a kid. Then it was like 27. Yeah, now it's like 25. There's a lot of people, and I'm kind of on this way of thinking is just don't take second contract running backs. I know that's easier said than done, but yeah, I don't know. Who are the guys in the last 5 years? Think about second contract guys. Who are those elite guys?
Frank
that,
Gore.
That fell down the hill.
Is he not elite though? I mean, yeah. And first of all, that's long. Frank's my age. Frank's second contract was like in 2007.
Are you saying that have gone downhill?
No, I'm saying that we're good. Like
Austin
give me-
Eckler.
Okay, yes, absolutely. That's one. Different though. Not
He's not between the tackles, running back.
Going to catch the ball a ton. McCaffrey, I assume by now is on his second.
Yes.
Yeah.
So okay, that's a really good two. Who else? Derrick Henry.
Nick Chubb.
I mean, Derrick Henry's
He's
got to be
on
on
the
there.
second
Is
contract,
Nick
right?
on his second contract?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has to be, right?
Well, I don't
I
know.
think so.
Was he drafted the same? Yeah, I don't know.
Wait,
Actually.
didn't you say he was drafted when Barkley was?
That's what I was gonna say. I thought he was drafted the same year.
I think
So that means he would
But
not be.
no, but Barkley was a first-round pick, so he has an extra year
Oh
on his
yeah,
contract.
yeah, yeah. So he must be on his second year. Well then, Chubb.
Well, Derrick Henry would be
Kareem
another
Hunt.
guy.
Yeah, Derrick Henry for sure. Now you look at guys that have fallen off. Todd Gurley. I mean,
Nick Chubb's 27.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's same
So
year.
he's certainly, and he's going to turn 28 during this season. Yeah, honestly, the Browns, I really like Chubb and really complain when the Browns don't utilize him, but it might not be a bad time to
might
cut
have
bait
added
when
some
you can-
miles though. not using him.
Well,
as much.
yeah, no, that's a fact. Yeah, they could have run the tires off of him, and instead they let Baker throw the ball downfield.
So now he has some extra miles at the age of 27.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, Todd Gurley fell off the wheels. I mean, he crashed very fast.
I am kind of
worst case.
on board for though, and in high school football, I'm a run the football guy, but the NFL, it's maybe best to just not invest a ton in running backs. I mean, just do what you can, find guys that can fit into your system.
Yeah.
You know, there's just not a lot of precedent lately. I mean, the Chiefs, I know they got Patrick Mahomes, but so it's easy to skew it.
Yeah, who's
The
Pacheco?
Rams 2 years ago, I mean, they were kind of committee, right? They had guys hurt that they had to
Malcolm Brown,
Akers and
Akers,
Henderson, right?
Yeah.
Tampa Bay, Lenny's decent. when
and the
they
rookie.
won.
This year, the rookie.
I'm talking about when they won it.
Right.
And then, you know, those Patriots teams almost never had an elite back. Corey Dillon a long time ago.
Well, look who the Chiefs played this year, the Eagles. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
a
Kenny
true committee.
Gainwell and
But-
Boston Scott and Miles Sanders.
The Bills. I mean, Singletary a little bit, but he's not a workhorse.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what got them beat, though.
Well,
They have
that's-
one. And you still have running backs that can put a team on their back, like Derrick Henry. I mean, the Titans would be.
But not to a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Now, he maybe could if the Titans would just do a little bit to, like, re-signing A.J. Brown instead of
Yeah.
being
well,
cheap and letting
yeah,
him
that was
walk.
weird. Mike Vrabel didn't like it.
Yeah, I feel bad for that guy. He's a good – I love that guy. I hope he gets out of Tennessee.
Come to Ohio State.
Well, easy. Don't be pushing Ryan Day out the door
you're
yet.
the guys that want to fire. That's the one guy that if you tell me that you're running Ryan Day out of town when he loses to Michigan for the third straight time this year.
Well, if they lose it again, then yes.
Oh, yeah, you got, yeah.
Well, I'm not firing him yet, but his seat is hot. Then.
I would, you know, that's the one guy I'd get excited about, is Mike Vrabel.
I agree with that statement. That's fair. Yeah, Tennessee's going to get bad, I think. Derrick Henry, is he on the move? I mean, do you think
Yeah,
he'll
they should. I think they're almost crazy not to move him,
Is Tannehill? I mean, Tannehill's about done, right?
and he's just not
Should
great.
be.
I mean,
He's not great, and they drafted a guy, so Malik Willis, who struggled last
bad
year.
though.
Yeah.
the Jaguars are setting up nice because that division is terrible.
Oh yeah, big believer in the Jaguars moving
Well,
forward.
yeah. I mean,
They're going to win that division this year.
it's going to be like the Patriots dominating the AFC East for all those years. I mean, there's just nobody that can.
I mean, they have to
Can they
compete with
compete?
they got to compete with the Titans, the Colts, and who's the fourth one?
Texans.
Yeah, the Texans. Jeez.
That is horrible.
Yeah, worst division in football. And then, I mean, the NFC or
The South is pretty bad in
NFC
the
South.
NFC.
yeah. Well, you guys want to talk about?
Well, next week we'll talk. We'll bring in brackets in here. They'll actually be the real ones, not even the Lunardi ones. There will be. So bring in your filled out bracket. We can go through, talk about our picks. Sounds like you guys already got it figured out. I got a lot of work to do.
I don't
Kansas
have
State.
That's false statement. I
I'm
do
He
not
has
have
Kansas
figured
State winning. They might
But
not
he's
even
also
be-
got Kansas.
That was 4 weeks ago.
Okay.
That was 4 weeks ago.
He
I
might-
got a prediction that Kansas State won't make the tournament.
what?
I mean, they're not. They're gonna have to win a
I
couple.
thought they were
games.
ranked recently.
No.
Oh, yeah. I see. I got to go to the drawing board. I got work to do
Awesome.
here.
I would guess that they're 20 and 13. That's my guess.
Then they're probably in.
Yeah, I would say they're close.
I do like these conference tournaments. I'm bitter about Ohio State being, you know, a non-factor in theirs. I love these mid-major ones and even the low-major ones. The ones that are in like high school gyms.
Oh yeah.
I do enjoy these conference tournaments.
Alcorn State. You ever heard of Alcorn State?
Dude, Steve McNair played for Alcorn State. Alcorn State had a Heisman Trophy finalist in about 1995. So yes,
My favorite thing about that whole
how
conference.
good was Steve McNair that he went to Alcorn State and almost won the Heisman Trophy?
Yeah.
Imagine that today. They had to have been 1AA because they're not 1A. That was back when it was called 1AA. He was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Steve McNair, a very underrated player, was murdered. He's now dead, but he's the greatest Tennessee Titan ever.
That conference plays in a high school gym, it appears. And they play their girls' games first and then their boys' games after.
like it.
love
Doubleheader.
that. Yeah, I love the
Good for
doubleheader.
concessions.
Yeah. Swimming in it. Well, I got one more thing before we wrap this up. Big Ten football next year? USC and UCLA.
2 years.
So they're doing away with sides like divisions. That's what I've heard.
I've heard that. Yeah, and you have 3 teams that you are locked into playing every year.
I heard it's going to be Ohio State, Michigan, and then one of the LA teams, well, USC or UCLA. And then it'll be Michigan, Michigan State. Well, Michigan will play Michigan State, Ohio State, and then one of the LA teams. So all the big market teams will be playing each other.
Penn State's in there with that.
Yeah.
Ohio State.
Penn State.
Ohio State plays Penn State every year.
Good time for expanded playoffs because it makes, I'd read Ohio State was going to have Michigan, Penn State, and either UCLA or USC. And that's certainly going to be a lot tougher than whatever Illinois got.
Right.
But it's good for money, and money rules everything. Good news is you can probably lose 2 games once they go to 12 and be good. So, honestly, what I think we're probably going to see, unfortunately, with these mega conferences, we're going to see less good out-of-conference games. So, which I don't like. I could go back to the late 80s and tell you the Ohio State non-conference schedules. That's always, when I was young, I used to look forward 10 years. And I still know, like now they've been canceling them, so it's hard to keep track of it. We're supposed to play Texas
Soon.
and Bama, both.
Bama,
coming
Georgia,
up.
like kind of down the line.
Yeah, all in the late 20s.
They just canceled Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the Big Ten scrap divisions in football.
Yes.
I think it'd make the Big Ten championship a lot more watchable. Because, nobody wants to see Ohio State beat Wisconsin 59-0.
great.
The only thing with that is you got real potential to see Ohio State, Michigan back-to-back.
Yeah.
Which, do you want that?
I would have rather had that this year than what we dealt with, not being in it.
Yeah, but if it was the opposite, if we beat Michigan and they came back and beat us, then we're like, yeah, this sucks.
I've seen people talk about that, and they say move the Michigan game up in their schedule, which I don't agree with.
No.
It has to be the last game.
No, that's the only thing I feel strongly about. No.
Agreed.
You can't move
What
Christmas.
if we just do divisions with even divisions?
You just can't. It's a national holiday. It's certainly our holiday. Let's not mess with it. We've already ruined a bunch of things.
You don't want to put it into the high school season.
No, we definitely don't want that. Holy cow, I didn't even think about that. Jeez, that'd be a disaster. The Ohio State-Michigan Day during our season. Now, hopefully we'll play for a state title, and they'll
Oh, yeah, that is true.
well, maybe not even quite a state title, like state semis.
Well,
I think you're right. State semis.
I'll
is-
take that.
Yeah, Coach Misfit just wrote us off. He just said there's no
Well,
chance.
I was thinking the high school season wasn't even over.
Yeah,
But you're right.
Haters in our own podcast.
Well, I once had the Jimmy Mack duels on Ohio State, Michigan, and that lasted 1 year. And I moved the date of the Jimmy Mack so that would never happen to me again. I watched what was his name, the kid Tyvis Powell, I want to say, that picked off a 2-point conversion for the Buckeyes to win. You guys would have been like in high school. You guys would have been young. 2013.
Tyvis Powell played when I was at Ohio State. He
Who's
was
the
on
guy?
national title
Didn't
team.
someone pick off a 2-point conversion? Tips knows. That Tate Forcier.
in 2015?
Well, I might have been just working the Jimmy Mack. I might have been running it and not coaching.
Because Tyvis Powell played on that national title team.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but it conflicted. We never allowed that to happen again, is what I'm saying. So do not move the Michigan game, please.
Let Ohio State and Michigan, opposite sides of the division, let them just pick their divisions. Beginning of each year, like a draft. Like Ohio State will pick Penn State, and the next thing will be USC, and then you work your way down.
Makes great television. I actually kind of
That's
like
make
it.
great television. And
The
you-
draft alone.
Yeah, and then Ohio State and Michigan.
Well, that's what the NBA
never have
does.
to play each
They let the 2 best players in the league draft
it's
their
awful.
all-star team.
That's
and it is
All-Star
awful.
game was the worst thing I've
Oh,
ever
it's
seen.
pitiful.
I kind of like the draft is funner than the All Star game, though.
Yeah, it was drama. There's no drama in the game.
It's just like
No,
the NFL
it's
draft.
just-
It's a top 5 day of the year for me, mainly because I've been a Browns
Yeah,
fan. And
love it.
It's a little
Yeah.
exciting.
Love it. Can't wait.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else anybody want to talk about? Austin, Saturdays are for the boys. Got anything else?
No, I think I'm good for the night.
All right. Well, that's it for the podcast then. Shout out Easton Water, Luke Varner, cool guy, and we'll catch you next time.
All right. See you next week.